we're back to more Call of Cthulhu. I should really be asleep, but no, we keep recording. Really been enjoying this. Don't understand most of the Steam reviews. I mean, I've noticed that some of the animations are a bit wonky at times, and clipping and such issues, but whatever. Some people relate this to basically a walking simulator. It's like there's a walking simulator with puzzle solving. And how is that a bad thing? I mean, sure, it's not Dark Hearts though, if we're not just shooting random people and deep ones for half the game, but we're investigating. Like, I really like the whole, investigating part where we actually explore the scene, look around and all that. Not exactly sure how I feel about the whole, oh, well, you can't actually open this, so unless there's an alternative way through, you're a bit screwed. Also, watching Death Evidence failures on this, I realized I missed quite a few things back at the asylum. Like, apparently I missed Officer Bradley's badge. And I couldn't get into storage because, well, I failed to get into that. But I also failed to go into one of the open rooms because apparently I didn't see the door. And then there was like a medical book and one of the wheels for exploding the pipes. Of course, I couldn't get the other pipe anyway because the other wheel because it was in storage and I couldn't get into storage. Also, I missed apparently a rosary which gave to occultism in that one cell that was open, but I didn't realize. Didn't see it in though. I don't think I even really went into it. I didn't really see a purpose, but apparently I'm not being as thorough as I should be. And that's less than ideal. But anyway, into the madness, yet again. Because obviously this is the best sign.
Where's the bookseller?
Could be dead. But it looks like someone basically punched through though.
Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
Don't say other books here that I can use for increasing my occultism and medical knowledge. Pastor declares himself to be the prophet. He renounced God and worshipped a strange pagan entity with a monstrous appearance. His wife tried to reason with her husband, but in vain. He was convinced they must listen to the voice in his head, because it holds the truth.
Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century.
Practical work written by Sigmund Freud. For psychology, describes the techniques of analytical interpretation of dreams. The analysis must follow several rules, especially that free association, a principle announced by Freud. I'm just gonna go Freud. Freud. At the end of the 19th century, it treats dreams as a way of revealing buried desires. I cannot believe that this theory is applicable to my nightmares. Oh, so it's medical. Well, medicine's getting up, though. I mean... Set 8. Need 3 more. Who are you? Puritan colony led by Reverend John Wickwood settled on the island during the 17th century. Here's what keeps bothering me though, it's like there's stuff here in the 14th century, stuff in the 15th, 16th, 17th. They named the island Darkwater because of the dark shades of the sea. The bleacher is because of the peculiar color of the rocks surrounding the island. They erected the first buildings, among which were the Hawkins Manor, the church, and the cemetery. The rare documents and handwritten notes they left spoke of nightmares and deviant behaviors. They disappeared at the beginning of the 18th century. So, it's like there's numerous centuries, but when did they actually show up? It's like they arrived at the 14th century, but yet the date said they arrived basically at, what was it, like, basically a date they were put at the 15th century. Maybe even in the 16th century, but... Oh, Prayer for Medicine, Tome 3. Even if it was backwards possible for a single petition to know all the medical knowledge at this time. This book, which concludes the series, shows that, I think I missed a couple, shows that this is now virtually impossible. About 10 renowned doctors stood putting it together this collection. Do. Still need 2 more birds. There's another bird. As precise and as illustrative with as much detail as the first film, this book focuses on hearing surgery specific to malformations and motor disorders. 1 more bird. Probably could have had that if I explored the asylum better. But I didn't. Wait, but...
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion.
These Tibetan writings are the origin of the Historic movement tried by Helena Blavatsky at the end of the 19th century. The creator of theology would have drawn essentially on the text of this word, but no one has ever been able to consult them. That they didn't exist. The book discovered in the nameless bookstore could be as much a fake as the irrefutable proof of Blavatsky's sincerity. Let me guess, occultism? You got occultism? Oh wow. Well, that's awkward. Most things in occultism have been giving me like 5, 5, 5. Now we got 7. So that one actually counts for 2%. Well, that's gonna make things awkward. Can I find enough of a medical book before we run into whatever we're running into? Chess game. What about you? In the 19th century, as the American whaling industry reached its peak, in the rest of the world, whales gradually disappeared from the water surrounding Darkwater. This phenomenon appears even more mysterious because, up until then, the region was a favored refuge for cetaceans, and just whales go with that. 1947, after months of pursuits, Scala returns to port with a gigantic creature on board. Its crew asserts that the sea monster had eaten all the disappeared whales. After a night of ferocious combat, the survivors managed to drag the beast onto the whaling ship. So, somebody's been eating So basically something's been eating all the whales. And they decided that, hey, this thing must be the great catch. This giant whale must be what we're after. Did they basically fish up like Cthulhu? And then eat Cthulhu? And that's why everything's going to hell? No, that can't be what? That wouldn't make any sense. Maybe it's that Leviathan. Maybe it was some giant eldritch horror that they fished up, though. That ate all the whales, and it's what's speaking to me, that Leviathan thing. Huh. How does it connect to Cthulhu? That's the question. Come on, I need another medical book. Is there any? How about you? Well, there's all of them. Oh. Looks like we've ran out of luck. Could have had it if we explored more back in the asylum. I don't even think there's like a chapter, so I don't think we could really go back in any way. So your choices. You have to deal with them. Oh well. Well, that's not a good sign. Any more books before I continue on?
What happened here?
Well, there's a reconstruction, but anything first. Book. And book on the non-reading dissection book 1. The least that can be said about this book is that the tales well conceived. The illustrations of human and non-reading dissection methods presented are illustrated in great detail. You have to have a strong heart or the detachment proper to doctors to consult his pages. Yay. Well, our medicine's gone up. Do I have any points? I do have points. Could raise my spot hidden. I almost actually want to increase my investigation more, actually. Just because, like, well, back in the asylum, there was a lock, and it's like, oh, well, you couldn't get into the storage, so you missed out on quite a few things. So maybe I do want to get that up. Painting. There's a crowbar. And we did miss a crowbar. There's also a safe. Safe with an elder sign on it? Well, have to investigate.
Let's start over. Where did they break in from?
Well, obviously they
Blood.
broke from that.
Seemed like amateur work.
I know, right? That room's not important. Obviously they broke something, hell.
No sign of struggle. If the burglar smashed this jar, it wasn't intentionally. Was he hurt then?
Hurt from what, though?
What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene?
The one that got hurt from...
What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work? What killed all these animals?
There are some rats and cockroaches and everything, hell. So obviously this safe is not... This is not a good safe to be touching. I mean, it has the outside. There.
What the? Charles Hawkins?
Okay.
Looks like the symbol rejected Hawkins. Where did I see it?
It would make sense for it to reject him.
What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess?
I mean, the Elder Son. Ow.
Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe.
We can't even really investigate it.
Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
Everything's connected. But yet, at the same time, why? So that book is important. So now it's like the perfect egg. That, but still.
What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
Carefully. This key that bears the Elder Sign is the only one able to protect your psyche. It is the form of a cylindrical medallion hanging at the end of a heavy chain. Hundreds of years ago, the star and the branch, whose purpose is to push back the forces of the great Old Ones, were engraved at its center. Everything points to it being Charles Hawkins that tore it from its last owner, Egyptian antique dealer. Press cuttings that mention the misdemeanor. The day of the robbery concedes with the last of Hawkins' trips of to Cairo. Remains to be seen whether he knows of the true purpose of the artifact. Try to find it. I was like, isn't Sarah wearing an amulet?
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
You know, that's gonna be amusing if basically the reason why everyone screwed up is because, well, they were taking sleeping pills. And it's giving them all hallucinations. Well, there's my theory. Everyone's taking sleeping pills and it's giving them hallucinations and nightmares. It's not even a cult or Cthulhu, which is all on sleeping pills. So what did he hide, Hill?
Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
A page needs to be hidden, Hill. It's possible to read. Somebody finds these memories, there will be no doubt that I'm in serious trouble. My last and only hope is that my body and bones are still in this place of reality, nor that they may be recovered and buried. And burned, I mean. The funeral urn must be given to my dear mother if she is still of this world. Following messages of capital importance. Whoever reads these lines and demonstrates acuity as sharp as mine can hope to gain access to my most precious possession. Lies within my safe. Clues to the combination are found in 3 cylinders, each hidden where life and study combined in the Greek world. Each cylinder is numbered, even if, as the Celebrate offer says, order is the pleasure of reason, but disorder is the delight of the imagination. Indeed, despite my preference for organized chaos, pursuant that reason usually prevails in the end. If by chance a person, or should I say genius, were to match my intellect and find the combination of the safe, I would ask that they deliver its contents into the safekeeping of my friend and colleague, Professor Amridge of Miskatonic University. Miskatonic. That sounds familiar in Lovecraftian themes. Content of this safe is not only a vast digest of knowledge, but also a weapon that's far too dangerous for it to fall into the wrong hands. I hope that you'll be able to appreciate the danger that this represents, and that you will act accordingly in any event. I will neither be there to guide you, nor suffer from your actions. Oh. We should not touch the safe. So, we have to open the safe. Oh my... Wow. This is gonna be interesting.
Arkham editions. Never heard of him.
Collection of Poems by Edward Pickman, Derby. Also known as the Nightmare Lyrics. This collection of poems was sensationally received when first published in 1908. Derby was only 18 years old. This poem is part of the Arkham anthology. It lectures collection trees and works on esotericism and the supernatural. Occultism? Nope. Not occultism.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
A lot, apparently.
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Like, I'm not gonna read it.
Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection?
Quite a bit, apparently.
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Oh god, don't tell me I have to actually... load.
Arkham Editions. Never. How many volumes are there in this collection?
Per sure, okay.
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
It's like if these things were actually all occultism, that would
Arkham
be
Editions.
I think.
Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection?
Apparently quite a bit.
Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
Probably. Any other clues? Way too many Arkham works.
A kind of chalice.
This goblet seems to be very ancient. It seems to be made of gold decorated with real precious stones. Do the rubies and sapphires make up a specific motif? We should probably take that with us. It's probably worth quite a bit. Just put it in the bag. No. Well then.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
The chalice of knowledge.
It's like I'm trying to rotate without somehow able to interact with it in any way. Like I can't actually look inside it or anything. Huh. Anyway, what else do you have?
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
Well, there's our clues.
The Queen has little protection.
Yeah, she has little protection.
The Queen has little protection.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research.
Okay.
I never tire of browsing through them.
That looks like 3.
The Chalice of Knowledge.
1, 2, 3. Okay. Starting from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5.
Drake talked about a particular volume.
Volume 9. Not like we can open it. So would it just be volume 9? Because that's a bit too obvious to clue if it's just volume 9. Okay, so this one was what, 5? This one should be 3. This one should be 9. That guy. It bothers me that it's just volume 9. It's like it's right in the freaking title. We should not be looking at this. No, dude, we shouldn't be looking at this. No. Look what you did. And we're back in. And the nameless mercer appears to trace the trail of attempted burglary. You discover that Charles Hawkins was behind the attempt. Pierce opened the Burke's cellar safe to find what the ladder and Sarah Hawkins had hidden there. Burke covered in human skin. Light inside irresistibly attracted the detective. When he opened it, his mind was projected into another body. Did we find the Necronomicon? Well, it was made out of human skin. But I don't remember the Necronomicon having the Elder sign on it. We were projected into another body. So were we projected into, Sanders? But Sanders is dead. Another person, or are we going into the past? I don't know. All I know is it's taking a while to load. I was going to say maybe we could actually get things in, but I don't think we could actually get things. I mean, collecting things through the whole process of not actually being us. Don't think we could get what we missed. Oh, so are we going to load anytime today? Like, seriously. There we go. Okay, that might mean this here's a big segment for being, you know, not actually us. enter the madness.
Dr. Colden, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
Dead.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
So...
Very well. I'll examine him.
Maybe I should explore more.
30-year-old subject. Severe hypothermia. Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell.
I was gonna... Wait, oh yeah, we don't even have control over Pierce, apparently. We have all the clues and stuff. But we don't have control over Pierce right now.
His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin, tender at the touch, slightly sticky. Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body.
So, Doctor, an opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
Did you examine his abdomen? It would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know,
Oh, really?
I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth. In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
He's mutated.
I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier...
He seemed to feel better?
Yes. Like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
He's turning... Yeah, his
I almost
body's
don't believe it
mutating.
myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations. And this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients. Provide him with the best available care.
Your imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There, there. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
His limbs? His body temperature? I don't know what experiments you've undertaken, but this is going too far.
Oh, I sense some excitement beneath your indignation. Could it be you wish to join me in my scientific endeavors?
How about
You are a brilliant physician, Dr. Fuller, but this man has the attributes of some kind of animal.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You really look like
You
such a
disappoint
fail.
me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget
So,
who you're dealing
wills
with.
shades indoors.
Was that a threat? What did he mean?
It was a warning.
And at this time period.
Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
Oh, that evidence exists. I'm sure of it. I need to find the missing medical files.
And where would you find those? In his office? What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep Mum.
We have to find.
An unknown medicine. Judging by the other ones, it causes heavy side effects.
I would assume she has basically, matched out medicine skills. Not sure about anything else. Also, I think we're basically at the upper part of the institute, not the basement, so... Yeah, we can even get our stuff back if we want to.
Hay fever? What's he doing here?
Good question.
Doctor, please. My chest.
His perfusion of a semi-physiological solution doesn't seem to work. He's undergoing a ventricular fibrillation.
Oh.
Nurse? Deborah, come and help me, please.
It's like, what am
His
I supposed to be
potassium
doing?
level is too high.
Moving to that?
Replace it with 2% glucose solution with insulin, calcium, and sodium bicarbonate.
I'll tend to it right away.
Thank you. He's in your hands.
Oh. Boy, there's a lot of people here to go through.
He broke his back in an accident down by the docks.
The whaling station. What's wrong with me?
What are you talking about?
Doctor, that you?
Yes, it's Dr. Colden. Tell me what happened.
It's the old whaling station. See?
The one that hides the smuggling business.
Oh no, not them. They don't go on that side of the island. Everyone in his place. The captain on one side, Cat on the other, and me. Well, I've been to the whaling station, I have.
What did you see there?
Nothing. Nothing at all. The floor was all rotten and I fell straight through.
And that's how you broke your back.
Perhaps. No idea. Passed out.
Well, there you go.
I'll just sleep a bit more.
Mrs. Sanders?
Oh. Wait, what? Why is she here?
Why did nobody tell me about her admission?
This fire describes the stay in which Irene Sanders entered the Riverside Institute as well as the treatments administered. For added a handwritten note, he recommends to take her down to the psychiatric wing, or to provide her with the quiet and rest that she needs. Oh no. She's looked at the paying. She's cursed.
She recently came back from the surgical block. She's stable. Given her file, a nephrectomy would have been inevitable. But Fuller was able to save her kidney.
And then he ate it.
What is the boiler room key doing here?
I don't know. Maybe I
The
should
key
check.
to the boiler room. Not where I expected to find it. The key to the boiler room. Not where I
Fine,
expected to
let's not
find
take
it.
Nope, he's doing that jiggles.
Dr. Colden, here you are at last. This patient was again brought up to the psychiatric wing. We've been following the treatment you prescribed, but the dysgeusia persists and he's lost a great deal of weight. We haven't been able to move him. The stress makes him hyperallergic.
Sir, I am going to examine you. Do you understand? Inject him with a dose of pentobarbital, intramuscular, so that I can conduct the clinical examination.
Medicine.
He bit his lips so much, they're still bleeding. White froth, evidently because of such drooling. His binds left bloody wounds.
So, Doctor, what should we do with this patient?
Those basement brutes tied him up too tight, and now he's hurt.
I keep trying to heal his wounds, but he reopens them.
Do you have a diploma as a nurse?
Excuse me?
So take care of this man.
Oh, snap. I like how the main judges just go to Dr. Fuller's office. What are you doing? Stop trying to be a nurse. Or a doctor, I should say. You're supposed to be going. Oh god, there's so much to look at. Like
Gentlemen,
people.
may I help you?
We're waiting on news regarding our mother, Maureen Harding. She came in with a kidney problem, but we haven't heard anything since.
I've tended to her, and I have good news. Her blood analysis is reassuring. Her kidneys are as new.
Are you talking about the same person? This is miraculous.
She's still recovering, but you may speak to her upon her awakening.
Oh, thank you so much, Doctor. We'll wait for her to wake up. We've been here since this morning, so it won't make a difference.
It's like, what is the point of helping all these people when you don't know? Like, it's like it's like a fluff mission.
Patients and hospital personnel eat the same food.
She says that like she didn't realize that's what was sitting, like she didn't realize that's what happens. Oh, here's another hiding spot. So the question is, are we going to be hiding, or are we just preparing stuff for the return of Pierce?
Watch out for the water, Doctor.
No, you're pulling my leg. I'm not joking. I saw the schedule. She's alone in the bathroom again. And she still says nothing to that old witch, Donovan.
Oh, listen to the way you talk, you naughty girl.
Scandalous.
And the answer is no. You can imagine that she doesn't dare say a thing. That
Medicine and the Secret Sciences. Sciences. This very interesting book aimed at wide public. demonstrates how non-recognized sciences have influenced modern medicine, magnetism, animal secret Chinese acupuncture, hypnosis, herbal medicine, alchemy, and also contributed to a certain extent to the enrichment of medicine at the beginning of the century.
Silly goose lets herself be trodden on.
I was
Oh,
like,
well,
please don't
at
tell
least
me
we
I
won't have
stole
to
that
clean for a
book.
while.
And now I
just
can't
wait
get
and see
on.
the next time the water's cut off. It's a real show.
Please don't tell me I stole the book and I can't get on Pierce now. 'Cause that would be a stupid thing. Oh, well, you were too thorough on the doctor. You can't
I didn't
have
make this up. And I'm
It's
the one who pays.
temperamental, if I understand
What a
correctly.
pest. It's so unfair.
Hi.
Elizabeth? You all right? Why is this room in such a state?
Because, as always, I'm
Those
cleaning it
water
by myself. And the water was once again shut off this morning. I had to bother Mrs. Donovan again, giving her a new excuse to belittle me.
The water looks a bit off.
Do you really need Mrs. Donovan to open a valve? Why not ask the janitor?
I can't make these decisions without her approval. Imagine if there were a leak. Anyhow, the boiler room is locked half the time.
I know the
So
key
every
is-
time the water gets shut off, I have to go and endure her reproach until she's settled the problem.
I see. Courage, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Doctor. Everything all right, Dr. Colden?
All is well, Elizabeth, thank you. I was making sure the water wasn't cut off yet
I do
again.
know the boiler.
Thank God, no. The water's running. I have no desire to call Donovan for help.
Courage, Elizabeth.
Thank you,
What I think we're doing is we're basically setting up for when Pierce comes back. At least that's why I'm assuming.
The answers must be hidden in Fuller's office. The answers must be hidden in Fuller's office.
That goes down. But which one is Fuller's office? We can go in there because we're a doctor.
We're running out of this medicine.
I know, Doctor. We sent the purchase order, though, but Mrs. Donovan refused it.
Once again.
Can't you do anything?
Donovan takes her instructions directly from Dr. Fuller. I'm afraid I can do nothing about it for the
The super scientific work by Casella. Rosa encourages individuals morphology which students of the to deceive an uninformed reader. So is that more medical books for Pierce?
The doses prescribed by Fuller are far too high.
Oh yeah, isn't that sours? I think so.
We've been waiting to be restocked for weeks.
Well, there's the boiler room. What's over here? Like a dictionary, this work references in alphabetical order all the medical sciences known and practiced in the modern world for each of the entries of major words. The number of reference authorities are listed. So hey look, more medicine. Okay. So, now a hiding spot.
I have little time for you, Doctor. You'll find out that it's not only the doctors who have things to do.
Oh, you.
I have little time for you, Doctor. You'll find out that it's not only the doctors who have things to do.
You're that one. Gotcha.
Wait a minute. Where do you think you're going?
I'm investigating.
Dr. Colden.
Mrs. Donovan.
Nobody goes into Dr. Fuller's office. But rest assured, I'll tell him you came by.
That won't be necessary. Thank you.
I will tell him, nonetheless.
The door to the boiler room is locked.
We know.
Where did I see that key? Ah, yes. The office in Block B. Let's hope I can go through the administration office.
So what's over here?
The operating room is never accessible after an operation.
Thank you for your help, Doctor.
Thank you.
We can't
I'll be
even
going.
say anything to our family.
This man, Edward Pierce. His file is incomplete.
Pierce.
What did Fuller do to him?
Stretching between the detail and treatment is not given. There's no respect to standard practice.
In theory, this is where we hang the key to the boiler room. Dr. Fuller always keeps his key with him.
I see.
Dr. Colden.
I don't get why they have us waiting so long. Almost no patients here.
Ethan.
Marie,
What are you doing here?
I'm waiting for my medication, of course. Why?
Master.
Tell me your symptoms.
I have headaches. And I can't sleep.
Do you suffer from insomnia?
No. Look, I don't want you to laugh at me.
Ethan, if you don't trust me, then who?
I have nightmares. They keep me awake every night.
Almost everyone.
It seems stupid, I know, but they're terrible.
Actually, you're not the only one.
No. No one has ever seen the things I see. It's like I'm turning mad.
You and almost all the island.
So many people have this affliction. It's like an epidemic.
Do you think it might be related to Fuller's work?
I don't know yet, but I will figure all this out. Everyone in Darkwater is suffering from nightmares.
Really?
We don't have any medication left.
Oh, there's no excuse then. I should let you work.
Take care, Ethan.
You too, Marie.
Where did my fiancée go? I hope those nutcases will stop burdening her with...
Sorry, but nobody can take anything until I finish the inventory.
Okay then. Now then. If I can figure out where I was. Okay, it's over here, I believe. Over here.
The key to the boiler room. All I have to do is shut off the water and hope Donovan takes the bait.
More of that oil, probably. Do we have the strength to turn this? Nope.
I can't shut this with my bare hands. I need a tool.
We didn't put invest into strength for her, apparently. Find a tool. Tool. Do I remember seeing any tools? Can't just ask someone nicely. Bradley, are you
Is
a
everything
tool?
all right, Ethan?
Yeah, I know I should go.
I will work until late.
Oh. All right.
Uh-huh. Tool.
Another insomniac. I should find the cause for such a widespread trouble.
Where's the towel?
Dr. Colden?
Hi. Any tools in hell? No. No. Tools.
Dr. Colden?
Dear tools.
I'll be going.
No one has any tools. There's a broom. Do 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 do. You got the wrench. You got.
I feel
all the
guilty
wall.
about Elizabeth, but I need the diversion.
Go back to Elizabeth.
Dr. Colden, might there be a problem with the water?
I was about to mention it. It seems it's been cut off yet again.
I can't take this, Marie. I feel I'm gonna burst.
It's not your fault if we have defective plumbing.
And yet, I'm the one who gets punished because I'm gonna have to square off with that annoying old witch. Courage, Elizabeth. Here we go. And hold your tongue this time.
And there you go. Now then.
Mrs. Donovan?
I'm busy.
Way over there.
Elizabeth, isn't it?
Haha.
At last. The missing files must be hidden here.
Yeah. But well.
Something is wrong with these masts. It's some sort of puzzle.
Oh, you gotta be shitting me.
I've unlocked something. Patient files. I was right.
I'm not even gonna ask how that worked. Cylinder was hidden inside Ford's office. He recorded his thoughts about one of the many psychoanalysis sessions he submitted Sarah Hawkins to. What about anything else? We're just gonna leave it. Make it look like we've been in hell.
Conclusions? Session number 17. Patient?
Why are we in this
Sarah
mode
Hawkins.
when we're not you know?
The patient appears to have finally accepted the illusory nature of what she calls the mythos.
What's that missing?
It goes without saying that these peculiar delusions are the price of
This
the
finger
thousand
belonged to a
exceptional
woman.
gifts.
Why keep it here?
Well, there you go. There's a shoe here. That's not important. The shoe is not important.
Why is Ethan on medication?
Why is Ethan on medication? Is there anything else? Ah, yes, there is.
Why does Dr. Fuller write psychological reports about Sarah Hawkins?
At first, I presumed that her blood was the key.
but I found nothing to explain Mrs. Hawkins' abilities.
Yes, why does she foresee these horrible things? Boop.
The poor souls downstairs are not Fuller's only subjects.
Then James came, irate that Charles was keeping secrets from him.
They all were in the same
that he would
club.
try to break into the basement sooner or later. I am prepared.
Are you?
Hawkins, Fitzroy, and Fuller. What is the connection between these three?
Well, they're all part of the
I
cult.
had the presence of mind to set the morgue in the basement. When all the fuss about the Hawkins incident finally comes to an end, I will dispose of her belongings.
Oh, well,
In
you
the
know.
meantime, they must remain hidden in plain sight.
Hidden in plain sight. Like
Of
what?
course. Sarah Hawkins is the connection.
Is it? But what does Fitzroy have to do with Sarah Hawkins?
I must go back to the basement.
No, seriously, what does Sarah Hawkins have to do with? I mean, no, what does Fitzroy have to do with the connection? Yeah, we're not gonna question all this blood hill. Oh, hi.
Ah, now that's the Marie that I know. I knew I could count on your scientific curiosity. It's time to show you what you were so eager to discover.
So, Marie's in trouble, especially what we learned.
If you're gonna shoot me, at least have the decency to look me in the eyes.
Turn around. Slowly.
Oh, you're still alive.
Talk, filthy thief! Oh, I swear I'll shoot!
Yeah.
Take a minute to look around. Everything points to Charles Hawkins.
He's dead!
No. He was here for a very specific item.
Oh, no.
The book. Why was it in the safe?
Have you read it?
Answer the question.
How foolish of you. Now you won't be able to escape his will. What did it show you?
She went into Fuller's office. She was looking for Sarah Hawkins' corpse.
Sarah Hawkins, you say? Let's go back to the start, shall we? Whose life did the Necronomicon choose to show you?
Dr. Colden. She was at the Riverside Institute. She's in danger. I have to go.
Wait! No one knows the occult better than me.
Can you buff my
You might need my help.
All right. All right. I might need you after all.
Perfect. Let's meet later at the Hawkins mansion. Now go! Rescue the doctor!
Thank you, Drake.
The team. off we go. Told you we're probably gonna go back here. With all those medical things. Bird. The bird projected Pierce into the body of Dr. Coden. The detective watched helplessly as Bradley's friend carried out her inquiry. Confronted with experiments of force, she got into his office and discovered that the director of the Riverside Institute was hiding information on, if not the body of, Sarah Hawkins. But she was discovered by Ford. Pierce must save her before it's too late. But we'll deal with that in the next episode. Hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all, and have a nice day.